As long as you remember, the Roman Empire was split into two parts: the Western Empire, meaning the Western Europe, and the Byzantine Empire, whose capital was Constantinople. The geographical location of the eastern half involved being far away from the disorder that took place in Europe. Only by highlighting these two facts we can understand the goal of the Byzantine Empire. Considering itself as the heir of the Roman Empire, he tried to conquer the other half in order to unify it under its control. The only thing you have to take into consideration is 1. He conquered the most part of Europe in the 6th century. But the more time it passes, the more territories it lost. And secondly, the second point you have to take into consideration is the two enemies that the Byzantine Empire was facing. First of all, the Bulgars, that were located in the Balkans, and the Islamic civilization in the Middle East and in north of Africa. The main characteristics of the Byzantine Empire were the following. In terms of politics, the main authority was the Basileus, who was also a divine figure. He was considered as a god, and that's why he had the absolute power over the society. The political and the religious power converged in its figure. In terms of economics, there were three activities that must be stressed. On one hand, obtaining food, meaning agricultural production. Secondly, craft activity, craft work, especially those focused on luxury items such as silk. And finally, the most important one, trade. Constantinople was the intermediate between the East and the West, and that's why trade was important, inasmuch as it was the link between the East and the West. In terms of culture, we have to stress three different sources. The Byzantine Empire had Greek roots, and this is because its territories coincides with Alexander the Great Empire. Secondly, Roman culture. And finally, Christianity. That's all the things you have to know regarding the Byzantine Empire. I hope you find this video useful for studying. See you soon, dear students.